Hi there, I'm Mary Susie from Bead Me a Story, and today I'm going to show you how to make these sparkle snowflake ornaments. These are made so sparkly because of the square wire jump rings that are in these. They're pretty easy to make. I would call this as a beginner level project, and it's just a basic hexagon, and I'm going to walk you through how to make this each step of the way. We'll be doing this version of it, but I have this in several other types of kits, or you can purchase the materials to make them as well. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to get this project started, you'll notice the first thing I did was went ahead and laid out all the materials. So I have gone ahead and pre-opened all of our jump rings, and I just want you to notice that these are square wire jump rings. So because of the hard edges on them, they're going to be extra sparkly, and that's what's going to make this project really shine, is the fact that those are square wire jump rings. Okay, so the first section that we're going to do is going to use the 7.25 millimeter O-rings, and then later we're going to use a smaller O-ring around the outside, but for now everything in this center part is going to be 7.25 millimeter O-rings, and I'm using 18 gauge 5/32 square wire jump rings. So these are the smallest size in the aluminum jump rings. Okay, so I took one jump ring and I picked up 4 rubber O-rings. And then I'm going to come in and close this. Now with the square wire jump rings, they're kind of nice because you can get a really nice grip. They're very hard to close just perfectly, because if they're out of alignment in just the smallest, micromillimeter, you can see it. So you have to be more careful about that, but they're actually very easy to close and grab. So that part is nice. And here, let me move these. I kind of grabbed them from the wrong section. Okay, now I'm going to take a second jump ring and I'm going to pass through 2 of the O-rings that are here. And I am going to pick up 2 more O-rings. So during this whole project, all of our rubber O-rings are double. And because we have doubled those, that's part of what makes this stay so stiff as it's going to be. It's going to be very flat and very stiff when we're finished, which is nice because it's going to hold its form on its own really well. Okay, so there we go. Now what I kind of like to do, you don't have to do this, but I like for there to be a front and a back while I'm working. So at this point you can see that we have 3 pairs of O-rings in a row, and they're held together by 2 jump rings. Now this pair of O-rings that's in the center is going to stay my center at this point. So this is the center, and each of these additional 4 pairs that I'm going to add on are going to be coming out of this center set of O-rings. Okay, so like I said, I like to have a front and a back. So this is my back, this is where all the seams are, and this is my front. So in order to keep all my closures on the back, I'm going to come up from underneath this, okay, up through that center, pick up 2 O-rings, close the jump ring, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to come up through the center, pick up 2 O-rings, close this jump ring. You can see this is a really easy project. We're just using 1 jump ring to link new pairs of rubber O-rings into our project. Okay, then we're going to come up through the center, pick up 2 new O-rings, and you notice I like to make sure that as I get my jump ring through, that I kind of make sure it's over top of the O-rings that I'm putting on before I start to close. That way I can make sure that I'm not going to pinch any of the O-rings, because if you do that, you can definitely create a tear in one of the O-rings, and if you do that, it should be taken out because it's not going to last over the long haul. Okay, and I actually set that down upside down, so let me put it back to this is the front side, that was the back side, and then this is my 6th pair that I'm adding through the center pair of O-rings. Okay, and pass through, and there we go. Okay, so this is our first row that we've done. Fairly simple. See, we made kind of a little flower or a little wheel here. So now what I'm going to do for my next step is I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jump rings, and I'm going to link each of these 6 pairs that are on the outside of the circle together. Okay, so this is another real easy step, but I'll just show you. So this is our front, this is our back. So we're going to come up from behind, and you can just pick any one of the pairs. It doesn't matter where you start, and then down. Okay, and then our back side is where all of our closures are going to be. Okay, so close each jump ring very carefully. Try and make it seamless. Okay, now I'm going to go through the next. So you see I crossed through these 2, so I'm going to use this one again. I'm going to come up from behind and down through the next pair. Simple stuff. This is just basic Japanese chainmail pattern. Okay, come up from behind my next one. Down through the next pair. And I'll just kind of show you here. See how my pliers are they're actually inside the O-rings, and that's okay as long as you're not grabbing onto any O-rings. It's okay to use that space in there to be able to grab on a little bit better. Okay, and then up from behind again, down through the next pair. We got this one and 2 more to do before we finish our circle. Just gonna keep going around the circle. See how I dug those inside the O-ring? I just like to get a really good grip on that jump ring to close it. And my left hand is my non-dominant hand, so I like to make sure I have everything grabbed really well before I start closing. If you scratch one, there should be extra jump rings in your kit. So take that jump ring out. Don't use it if you scratch it. Okay, and then we got one more. So you can see, well, when I get to the end, I'm just connecting the last one to the first one that I started with. Okay. See how a lot of times I get it started closing it, and then I come back in again and get an even tighter grip because it makes a little bit more room for me. Okay, so this is our center. So just a simple little Japanese flower. No fuss, no muss, very easy to do. Okay, so now in the next step, we're gonna need 12 jump rings. And we're also gonna need 12 O-rings. We're still keeping with the 7.25 millimeter O-rings in this next step. So 2, 4, 6, 2, link together, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so that's 12. And then each 2 jump rings, because we're going to use these individually, is going to now have its own pair of rubber O-rings that it's going to work with. And now we're gonna go around this little flower that we've made to start with, and we're gonna create little points coming out of the flower. Okay, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs. And then I've got 12 jump rings. So 2 jump rings belong to each of these pairs. Okay, so I'll start from the top. Then again, let's come up from behind. We're gonna pick up our new pair of O-rings. Because we're making points, this is actually sitting, these O-rings are gonna end up sitting between 2 of the pairs from the original center flower. Okay, see, so I have that attached with 1 jump ring, that pair, and I can kind of pull it over here because see how this is going to become a point now. So I'm going to again come up from behind this and then pass down through. And then we'll close this jump ring. And you'll see our first point. Okay, so now I'm going to continue adding all the additional points all around the circle. Okay, so now that I've completed going around this, you can see that I have 6 points, and I have brought in my next group of materials. So these are 6mm O-rings. Now these are the same thickness as the 725s that we used here. They're just a little bit smaller diameter. So they're gonna fit around the outside a little bit better. And we're gonna do 3 jump rings with pairs of O-rings on each point. Okay, so again, I know this is my back side, so I'm going to come up from behind. I'm going to pick up 2. Close the jump ring. I kind of swung that over to the left, as you could see. And then I'm going to come up from behind again. Pick up 2. Close the jump ring. Okay, swing that to the left. And then 1 more jump ring. Pass from behind. Pick up 2 O-rings. Again, these are 6mm O-rings. They're smaller diameter than what we've been using thus far in this project. And close the jump ring. Okay. And now I can just pull these all up. Okay, and you can see that I have my first outside edge. So I'm going to continue on and add all the rest of these. Okay, and so there we have it, one finished snowflake. So you can see this has all the little points on the outside. You can just simply put a piece of fishing line through one of these pairs of O-rings, or you could use some kind of wire ornament hook or something like that. This also has a lot of open sections, so if you wanted to put some wire through here and attach these to a wreath, you certainly could. I did a couple different colors in the white snowflakes with the darker blue and the lighter blue. And then of course we have the red and green colors with the gold. So all of these are gonna accent really well with all of your holiday decor, and you can use this in a whole number of different ways. But I just want you to see that these really keep their shape. They're very flat, but they're two-sided, and they're pretty sturdy with how they're sitting. So I hope you enjoyed this project. Please be sure to like and follow me on YouTube. And of course, this and other projects are available at beadmeastory.com as well as all the supplies to make this project. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.